Senator from Iowa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, President Biden has opened our homeland to the world's criminals. Under his leadership, over 9 million illegal immigrants have crossed our southern border. 9 million people. That's more people than the population of 75% of our states. Month after month and year after year, the Biden administration is shattering all the wrong records. For example, CBP has reported 1.6 million known gotaways in the last 3 years, a stark increase from the 1.4 million known gotaways we saw in a 10-year span from 2010 to 2020. And that's just the known gotaways. Who really knows how many people have gotten past CBP undetected? And these aren't just plain old numbers, folks, okay? They're people that too often include violent criminals who harm Americans. Hardly a day goes by without hearing of another American who has fallen victim to crimes perpetuated by the illegal immigrants the Biden administration has let flood into our country. We all read the stories of the illegals arrested on serious criminal charges and post bail, never to be heard from again. Everyone knows the story of Laken Riley, the 22-year-old nursing student beaten to death by an illegal immigrant who was in police custody in New York City before being let go. But the crisis only continues. Just last Friday, news broke that Raul Santana, a Mexican national who was in the United States illegally, had his bail dropped from $1 million to $100,000. What did he do? Well, he struck and killed Washington State Trooper Christopher Gadd while driving drunk and high at 112 miles per hour. For more than 8 years, I have warned against the dangers of letting illegal immigrants who have already broken our laws roam the country and continue their lawlessness. I have repeatedly called on this body to step up and protect innocent Americans from criminals who are in our country illegally and pass my bill, Sarah's Law. 8 years ago, Iowans Michelle and Scott Root woke up to every parent's worst nightmare. Their daughter Sarah was killed by a drunk driver. Sarah, a 21-year-old from Council Bluffs, had just graduated from Bellevue University in Nebraska with a 4.0 GPA. She had a bachelor's degree in criminal investigations. She was headed home after celebrating her important life milestone with her friends and her family. She had her entire life ahead of her. But like Trooper Gadd, she was struck and killed by an illegal immigrant drunk driving. Before the Root family could even lay Sarah to rest, her murderer posted a $5,000 bond, was released, disappeared, and has never been seen again. Mr. President, these tragedies don't have to continue happening. Today, we can act to ensure no family will be subject to the pain and anguish Sarah's parents have experienced every day for the past 8 years. My bill, which is named for Sarah, would close the appalling loophole that let Sarah's killer go free. It would merely require ICE to detain otherwise deportable illegal immigrants charged with killing or seriously injuring another person. It also requires ICE to inform victims and family members of necessary information pertaining to the investigation. Had Sarah's law been on the books when Sarah and Laken and Trooper Gadd were murdered, law enforcement would have to detain their killers instead of opening the door for them to simply flee. The Roots, the Rileys, and the Gadds would have been kept up to date on federal immigration authorities' efforts to remove their loved ones' murderers from the country. Simply put, folks, this should be easy. This should be easy. Sarah, Laken, and Trooper Gadd's deaths are tragic and unfortunately doomed to be repeated thanks to the administration's broken and ill-informed policies and my Democrat colleagues' refusal to take up this very simple legislation. Those who come here illegally and harm our citizens should, without question, be a priority for removal. It's just common sense, folks. Otherwise deportable illegal immigrants who commit violent crimes in the U.S. should face justice. We can no longer prioritize illegal immigrants over public safety. We must pass Sarah's law to send this message loud and clear for Sarah's family and for the countless American families that Sarah's law would protect. As if in legislative session, I ask unanimous consent that the Judiciary Committee be discharged from further consideration of S-160 and the Senate proceed to its immediate consideration. Further, that the bill be considered read a third time and passed, and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.